Another talker is talking with the judge.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir.
Got Mr. Goss. Good morning.
Mr. Goff, not here yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I said good morning to Mr. Bachman, but he didn't have his thing on audio yet, so.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Mr. Bachman.
Good morning, everyone. Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Sean B. Perkins. While court is in session, please keep your backgrounds quiet and clear. Sit back with your names to be called. Also, if you're in a vehicle, there is no driving while court is in session. Also, there is no laying down, eating, drinking, gum chewing, smoking of any kind while court is in session. Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Let's start with, what is that, what's your middle name, Mr. Landers?
Napoleon Lafiano. Napoleon Lafiano.
All right, I got that. So, I have, was this Counselor, what was this, an OWI charge?
Judge, this was a DWLS, if my understanding is correct, and originally when Mr. Landers was in custody like a year ago, they were supposedly had taken care of this along with some other tickets, but for some reason the warrant wasn't lifted so he could pay the ticket on this.
All right, so let's call the cases. He's got two, so let's call, this is City of Detroit versus Reno Napoleon Landers, case number SP103-25121. That's got a warrant attached to it, and then SP11642-801. Madam Clerk, can you pull up anything? This is the wrong Reno Landers.
Okay, Your Honor.
He's got the Reno Napoleon. Say that middle name again, sir.
Reno Napoleon Lafiano Landers.
Lafiano Landers, okay. So that's the two cases that I see now. One of them is a drove-while license not valid or improper, and the other one is a drove-while license suspended, but that drove-while license suspended was pled guilty to on 12/4/2019. And there's an outstanding balance of $702 for some reason. It's that much.
I went before I got locked up. January.
Let me stop you, sir. Let me stop you, sir, please.
Okay.
Appearance for the record, Counselor.
Marco Speakers, P number 79478, Judge, on behalf of Mr. Landers.
Let me say this, Mr. Landers. Would you like to speak with your lawyer in a breakout room about this, and then have your lawyer do the talking for you, or do you want to do the talking yourself?
No, sir. I won't do no more talking. I'll let you go. Sorry, sir.
No, I'm not saying, I'm giving you an opportunity to either have your lawyer handle it for you, or okay.
Yeah,
So
I have a breakout room if I can.
Put you in a breakout room so you guys can talk about this situation, and then see if we can come to some sort of resolution. I don't have an offer yet in the file because you're walk-in, so you're going to be in breakout room number 3, and come back and we'll see what we can figure out.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
All right, how are you, sir? What's your name?
I'm okay. This is Marlo Green.
All right, good morning, Mr. Green.
How are you doing?
Very well. Please mute your phone until I call your name, sir. You would mute your phone by pressing *6.
*6. Okay.
Yes. And then unmute that. You would unmute yourself by pressing *6 as well. So when I call your name, you can unmute yourself. All right.
Okay.
I have a Alexis.
How you doing, sir?
All right. Good morning, ma'am. What is your name, please?
Alexis Gray.
Alexis Gray. All right. Good morning, Ms. Gray.
Good morning.
Do you see Ms. Gray? Is that Gray or Grey?
Gray.
All right. What brings you here today, ma'am?
I had got locked up, I believe. My paper says the 15th for something that happened a year ago.
Ms. Gardner, I have you checked in. Who's got the OnePlus N200 TMO device?
Huh?
What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Gerald Groggins.
Gerald Groggins. Good morning, Mr. Groggins.
Good morning. It ain't even on there.
All right, mute yourself, please.
I'm trying to.
Mute yourself.
Gerald.
You mute yourself until your name is called. I have you.
Okay.
I'm muted.
Not muted.
It says I'm muted already.
I need to mute myself.
Please.
Yeah, muted.
Thank you. All right, I got a Master O. I got Malcolm Little. I got you checked in. I have a Malcolm O.
Yes, Mr. Owens. My name is Marcus Owens. I'm sorry about that.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Owens.
Good morning.
Mrs. Glogowski, good morning to you.
Morning, Your Honor. I am here with Mr. Gomez Hernandez.
Hey, how can we help Mr. Gomez Hernandez? Let's see what we have here. Pre-trial. Was he supposed to take the defensive driving course?
Yes, Your Honor. I did speak with the city attorney, and we would like to.
Your device is not operating very well, Ms. Glogowski. All right. All right, Ms. Glogowski, are you there still?
I am now. Yes, Your Honor. I apologize. Yes.
Now, you said you spoke with the city attorney, and what was the resolution?
Yes, we wanted to proceed with the offer of amended charge of the open alcohol from driver to passenger, amended charge from careless driving to blockading with the dismissal of the no insurance, please.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait on, Mr. Goss to come in there. He's in here now. So let's call the case. This is the city of Detroit versus, Dyer, Gomez, Hernandez, case number SP 1148036, counts 1, 2, and 3. Appearances for the record, please.
Rachel Klogowski, P74194.
Can you put your appearance on the record, Council? Good morning to you.
Good morning. Mayor, please, report. Dante Garce, P60162, on behalf of the city of Detroit.
Okay, today is the date and time set for a pretrial for Mr. Gomez Hernandez, and my understanding that Mr. Hernandez has was offered to take the Michigan Defensive Driving course, and I don't have proof, but I have a counselor on the line who is an officer of the court that is suggesting that Mr. Gomez Hernandez has taken that proof that course, and have you seen that proof, counselor?
I did email it to Mr. Goss last week, I believe.
Gomez Hernandez. Okay, and part of that offer, does your client speak English very well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good morning to you, Mr. Gomez Hernandez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
So you kind of know the deal, right? We went over that before you took the class, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to bring some very informative information to the court and the people that are watching on YouTube about what you learned in the class. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Start whenever you like, sir.
I learned that driving the
Ms. Klogowski? Ms. Klogowski?
Perkins. And 36 District Court, that more.
That's the AN Dr. Perkins at 36 District Court. I'll just go to one print copy out and put it in the file.
Whatever. Don't you want a copy of it?
Not necessarily.
Oh, no, I verified it.
All right, they're gone.
Oh, they should keep their back.
Your internet is having some difficulties and you're on mute, Ms. Klogowski. What I would suggest is you turning your video off. No. Let's do this. Let's swear your client in first.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Gomez Hernandez, can you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down, sir. Okay, so we were, you started off giving us some information on what you learned in the class, and we were looking for some substantive information, things that you didn't know, and some people online that are listening to you probably didn't know about the rules of the road. So go ahead with that information, sir.
Okay. What I learned is when you're driving like too close to another car, you can cause an accident because you're too close to the front side of the road, and you can cause an accident.
Did it tell you how far that you need to be away from the car in front of you?
Yeah,
And how far is that, sir?
two cars in front of me.
Does that distance change when the weather conditions change, sir?
Yes,
And what is that suggesting there?
breaking back in traffic. You have to step back like in traffic, like to get farther.
All right, what else did you learn, sir? I don't know if your client is prepared today, Mrs. Glokowski.
I do have the certificate. I know class, and I think he's a little bit nervous.
I'm going to question your internet connection as well. Yeah, she's going to have to get a better connection. We're going to pass this matter until you can get your internet connection worked out. You're here for Mr. Grice?
Yes. Thank you, Judge.
All right, let's pass that matter. Let's call the City of Detroit versus Wayne S. Grice, case number Z8081101. Mr. Grice, can you state your name for the record, please?
Wayne Grice.
Good morning, Your Honor. Harry Bachman, P55052, on behalf of the defendant. We're here for a review on defendant's WI conviction.
Okay, and we have the probation officer. Can you state your name for the record, Mr. Stone?
Yeah. My name is Ken Schiatti. I am probation officer here, and I'm also in charge of Mr. Wayne Grice. He's on my caseload.
Okay, so we'll start with you, Mr. Schiatti, Officer Schiatti. Tell us what's going on with this case today. Has he already been sentenced? Well, I'm understanding he's already been sentenced.
Yeah, that's correct, Judge. I'll give the court some information. This defendant was placed on probation on April 13th of this year. He was placed on probation for 9 months. So we're 3 months into his probation term. The defendant has completed all the conditions of probation except for 2. One is that he needs to complete the video consequences tape. He needs to view it. He can do that on YouTube. He has done the alcohol highway safety. He has done the victims impact panel. He has paid $370 fines, costs, and fees, and he's going to AA. On a bad note, that this defendant has tested positive for alcohol on July 10th. So we can't suggest to discharge the defendant early, especially on a bad note. We're recommending that he get perhaps another review date so urine can be clean, and that for him to view the consequences tape on YouTube.
Okay, Mr. Grice, where is Pastor Todd?
I'm here, Your Honor. I'm here, Your Honor. Yeah, this is news to us. I'm here, Your Honor. I don't know if you can see me. I'm here. We're in my office. But
good morning to you. I didn't know that was you on the screen this morning. So I hope all is well. I hope all is well going to the church. I haven't made it over there yet, but I definitely will.
Yeah, good. Things are going well. And this is news to us in terms of the positive. And also we have a checklist based on those things that were required of him. The letter that was mailed out on May 4th. And we checked off each of the areas. The YouTube video is something new to me because we've checked it off. We weren't aware of that. We've done everything that was supposed to be done. But the positive finding from the jam is something new. Mr. Grice is here, and he's indicating that he has not been drinking. And I don't know what that's about.
So it sounds like there probably should be a hearing on that issue. So there's an allegation that he has been drinking, and that's per jams. Is that correct, Mrs.?
Yes.
And I don't know. I don't see. Let's see the original. Do you have the original order on? Okay, probation order here. The original order stated you had to take the victim's impact panel. You had to attend Alcoholics Anonymous twice weekly for 6 months. There was an order to attend and complete alcohol highway safety. There was also an order that shall not use or possess any illegal substance. And then there was also submit to drug urinalysis, shall not consume any alcoholic beverages. So I, as well, officer, and this order was entered into on April 12th, 2021. I as well don't see anything as it relates to a video, what I wrote down, consequence tape. So can you provide some enlightenment on that tape and where that?
Yeah, I can, Judge. This is something that is well known. You can put 2 words in the computer, view consequences. You can do that through Google, those 2 words, view consequences. It's about a 15, 20-minute tape, and it's a tape that's very sad to watch. And it's actually, it's a well-known tape. It will definitely give the impression to someone that views it is something that they don't ever want to drive drunk. It's very helpful to someone to curb any future drinking. And it was ordered for a reason, and it's not ordered on ordinary. It's a common thing. And I'm encouraging, because I want to enforce the order of the court. I want to encourage the defendant to take 15 minutes, put it in YouTube and view the consequences tape. And Reverend Toddy's been very helpful to this defendant. And I would also encourage Mr. Toddy to see it as well, if you'd like.
Okay. And let me say this, let me add to that order that was entered into on April 12, 2021, that I was mistaken. There is an other line down there. It does say pay assessment fee of $100. It does say view consequences, and it does have a review date for July the 12th, 2021. So that.
Your Honor, if I may, to the court, Mr. Grice, it was mailed out. I'm reading directly from the document that was handwritten, that was mailed out from the 36th District Court. Department of Probation, and it's handwritten. There are 5 items that are circled.
Okay.
And this is the
Reverend Toddy, I don't, listen, I understand that he may have had something and it may have been a miscommunication with the court and probably the probation office, because that's a document sent by the probation office. I'm in possession of an order from the court, and this is signed by Judge Deborah Langston that orders. And this is an agreement that Mr. Grice entered into at the time he took the plea, that he would take this few consequences course. So we're going to go by what the order of the court says, as opposed to a document sent out by the probation office. With that being said, I think the overriding problem that we have here is not a 15-minute video, but that can be viewed,
alleged.
Yeah, we have the allegation of the drinking. So that's where we're really hung up on, and the main purpose of this whole thing is to for Mr. Grice to show the court that he doesn't have a substance abuse problem. We're trying to make sure that Mr. Grice, it's one thing to drink, but don't get in the car drinking. But also, when you're ordered to not drink while you're on a drunk driving case and you pled guilty to it, don't drink.
Yeah.
So that's got to be something that either Mr. Grice, and I understand it's an allegation, but that's got to be something that Mr. Grice either is going to have to comply with, or we're going to force him to comply.
I agree.
You understand? So we appreciate the work that you've done in assisting Mr. Grice, but Mr. Grice has to help himself out.
You want to address the court? He said, what he's saying is that the test that came back when you went and dropped, that it came up positive for alcohol.
Right.
And so he's saying that you have to not drink. Were you drinking? That's what he's saying.
The only thing we're going to get into right now, this is, I have an attorney on the line. I can put you guys in a breakout room and you guys can discuss that. Because I don't want Mr. Grice to incriminate himself. And there's an allegation here, and I'm not going to allow him to incriminate himself. So I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Bachman. He knows very well what he's doing, and he can talk to Mr. Grice. And Mr. Grice, you're feel free to discuss opening. I suggest that you discuss opening with this attorney so he can do his best in having the information to help you out. So I'm going to put you in a breakout room, and I'll let you talk about it, and then we'll get back.
All right, thank you.
All right. Counselor on, yes.
I apologize. Can I get the spelling of the officer in the courtroom's name?
Yeah, it's the first name's Ken, the last name is S is in Sam, C-I-O-T-T-I.
T-T-I?
Yeah, S is in Sam, C is in cat, I-O-T-T-I.
Thank you. And also, Your Honor, is it Reverend Toddy?
Yes, Toddy, T-O-T-T-Y.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on. I don't know if we got Mrs. Rogowski back or not. But we can
Yes,
clear
Your
that.
Honor, I do apologize. We're having trouble today.
All right, listen, we're gonna do, Mrs. Rogowski. I've already sworn your client in. The city attorney is in possession of that certificate. Did you put your name on the record?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're back on the record with Mr. Gomez Hernandez. Go ahead, Counselor.
Your Honor, I am in receipt of the certificate for and my offer is going to be that Mr.
Gomez Hernandez.
Gomez Hernandez, plead to open intox passenger, and I will dismiss the other two matters.
Okay, very well. It's that, you heard that, Mrs. Logowski?
Yes, Your Honor, and we would like to proceed with that plea agreement. Thank you very much.
Okay, very well. Mr. Gomez Hernandez, you understand you have a right to a trial in this matter?
Yes,
And you understand by taking this deal that you're gonna give that trial right up?
yes,
Has anybody offered you anything other than what I stated in the record?
no,
Okay, let me draw your attention to December 22nd of 2020 at around 12:36 a.m. in the city of Detroit in the area of Martin and Paluzzi. Did you have an occasion to be pulled over by a Detroit police officer on that day?
yes,
And on that date, were you driving a 2014 Chevy?
yes,
And did you have an open container of alcohol in that motor vehicle while you were operating that motor vehicle?
yes,
I didn't hear you, sir.
yes.
Okay, what type of alcohol did you have? What did you have?
It was Smirnoff.
Smirnoff.
Yes,
And is that in a cup? In the bottle? What was that in?
it was in the bottle.
And that bottle was open, sir?
Yes,
All right, very well. I'm going to accept your plea to the amended count of open intox passenger with the stipulation of probable cause, Counselor. The other two matters will be dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. I'm going to find you guilty of open intox passenger. I'm going to fine you $240, sir. When can you pay?
I can pay today.
Very well. Let's see. I'm going to waive any warrant fees. I'm going to put in the computer, just for the purposes of the computer's sake, that we'll have August 11, 2021. If you pay it today, the matter will be closed out under open intox passenger, and the other two matters will be dismissed. You got off a little bit easy today, sir, because of the lack of bandwidth connection. We couldn't hear you. So.
His attorney worked hard.
All right, and
We understand, thank you.
who's on there? Who's that talking? And your attorney did a very good job and some very hard work in getting some cases dismissed that if you didn't have that advocacy, you probably would be in a lot worse shape. So, sir, you got to slow your vehicle down, and you definitely have to take the alcohol out of the equation when you're driving any kind of way. All right.
All right, I understand.
All right, very well. If there's nothing further, you guys are free to leave, and that's $240, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. We appreciate your patience with our internet today. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a nice day.
All right, very well. Okay, Counselor, what about Mr. Landers? Did you have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Landers?
Your Honor, I did. I spoke to Mr. Landers, and we're ready to proceed with waiving the warrants. If there's any way that he could be able to pay the fines today. My understanding and his understanding was that they had resolved these a while back, but it doesn't, even though he believes that is what happened, somehow it didn't end up on paper with the court. So I'm not sure. I believe we would have to redo it if that was the case. If it wasn't the case, then we have to start in our normal procedure.
You kind of went out on me in mid-sentence a little bit, Counselor. Let's get back. We're back on the record with Mr. Reno Landers. And I did see Mr. Landers pled guilty on December 4th, 2019. I thought I heard a partial statement from Mr. Landers or Mr. Landers' counsel representing the fact that at some time he was incarcerated and he pled guilty. Is that what my understanding is?
That is correct, Judge.
Okay, and was that at the time he pled guilty on 12/4/2019?
That is correct, Judge.
Okay, and there is some fines. Can you pull up Mr. Landers' ticket, especially the one that has the SP 103-2512? I do have some reservations about this fine here being $702. If it was in front of me and he pled guilty to a misdemeanor as this, it would be only a $240 fine. So we're going to see where these extra costs came from. And we have another license improper that is for the court. So what we'll do is we'll waive the warrant and we'll enter a not guilty plea on his behalf on the SP 103-25121 matter. And what is your pleasure and what do you think you want to do with that, sir? I wanted to go to that screen.
Oh.
And see what's going on, why these fees are so much. Counselor?
Yes, Judge. And on the other matter, on the one that wasn't pled to,
let me ask you this. What do you want to do?
he wants to pay the ticket, Judge, and have it off the books. That's what we'd like to do. We'd like to plead to it and have the matter closed so he can get his license.
You don't want to take a time and talk to the attorney, city attorney regarding this matter, Counselor?
I would, Judge. I would. And so if we could set it for a future date, so this way I could be able to talk to him.
You're here right now to talk to the city attorney, Counselor.
I'm sorry, Judge. I'll talk to him right now.
I wanted to see the screen on why the amounts were so much.
For the
yes. Here it is. Basically, it's just two charges. He pled guilty while incarcerated to the one driver while license, and then he pled to the other. Then the other charges open. You see the one with the warrant there?
Yeah.
What about that screen about the payment screen, about the dollar amount screen that you always put?
Oh, I see what you're saying, Your Honor. Oh, I apologize. Okay, I get it now.
That's right.
Okay, yes, I can.
So how does it get $702?
Okay, so he was charged, his sentence, let's see, they charged him $490. That was what he was sentenced, $490, and then the reinstatement fee.
There's a breakdown.
They
I'll
charged
show
him
you how
with
it
that.
goes.
And then there's a penalty.
Do you have the GIS?
490 is what
You don't?
the biggest amount is.
Yes, Your Honor. And they didn't waive the warrant cost.
And what is the 250?
I'll show you
That's
how it
part of the
goes.
490.
That's the fine. He charged them $250 in fine.
So we got the financial screen on that case?
All right, let's go back on the record with Mr.
The breakdown?
I got the breakout room set up for that.
Okay, he's helping me work out. So
I just want to show him something. I didn't know the case.
That's fine.
Oh,
See, this is
All right, Mr. Bachman, let's go back on the record with Mr. Wayne Bryce.
Ready.
Mr.
So you can look at
Bachman,
this. Here's why.
is there anything that you
And
can
here's
add
why.
to this,
Here's
to help
Right.
Mr. Bryce out?
Okay,
Yes?
thanks.
Absolutely.
Hold on.
Whatever that is, you think, to
So in
me,
the
it's
future, there's a special screen.
I think you guys can take that conversation outside. All right, let's see,
At
yes.
this time, Your Honor, because there is a material and genuine issue of fact with regard to the violation, we're asking that the matter be set at a future date so that we can have some sort of hearing with regard to that matter. The defendant would continue a not guilty plea here with regard to that violation. It would also give the defendant time to complete those terms and conditions that we mentioned here today and that he's happy to comply with. Give him a chance to rehabilitate his image by testing, further testing, and demonstrating his sobriety over the next time between today's hearing and the next hearing date. So we'd ask for another action date, please, and thank you.
And that's why I send you to the breakout room with the lawyer, sir. Listen, I'm not gonna be playing with this. You got people that are in your corner that are trying to help you out. And I don't know whether you're drinking or not. But quite frankly, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you another date. We're gonna get a violation of probation hearing date. All right. Let's get a date for that. So we can hash this out then. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna keep saying it to you. You know, you're throwing mud in the face of people that are trying to help you out. And I'm not gonna sit here and deal with you and your issues because you can't get yourself together. I can just give you jail time and close this thing out. You just go to jail. Then you get out, you can do as much drinking as you want to. But if you really want the help, if you really want to help yourself and to do right by the people that are sitting here trying to help you, then I suggest you put the bottle down if that's what you're doing.
Well, I know.
You have something to say, sir?
No, sir.
All right.
Judge, I want to add that I agree with Mr. Boffman that if the defendant tests clean in the next 3 or 4 months, I would definitely entertain not having a hearing on the violation, and I would be happy to entertain a discharge for this defendant based upon negative screens for the next 3-4 months on an adjournment, and for him to explain how the video went, and we could ask him some questions about it, and I will definitely drop all charges and perhaps entertain a discharge to help this defendant towards sobriety.
Do we have a verification that he's been attending Alcoholics Anonymous twice weekly?
Yeah, we do. The probation department has been satisfied with all the other conditions of probation.
Okay. All right.
But we would encourage the defendant to abide by the order and to continue his AA meetings, because it would be very helpful for this defendant, and also it's part of the probation order.
Well, you don't have to encourage him to abide by the order. If he doesn't abide by the order, that's going to be
Thank
something
you, Judge.
he chooses to do or not. If he doesn't abide by the order, he's going to go to jail.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So next court date is a violation of probation hearing on September 20th, 2021. And sir, again, I realize that it's just an allegation. I do realize that testing at these places gets mixed up, something goes wrong, or something like that. So, you know, but if it keeps going wrong, and if something keeps happening, even if it's not your fault, or you claiming that you didn't do it, you're gonna go to jail, sir, and we'll just close this matter out with jail time. Reverend Toddy?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
I appreciate your appearance and your assistance with Mr. Grice. I just want to let Mr. Grice know that I'm just not going to have it.
Understood, Your Honor. I believe Mr. Price understands. Perfect.
All right, very well. So if there's nothing further, this matter is going to be, we'll be back here on September 20th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. for a violation of probation hearings.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Good luck, Mr. Grice. You can leave the meeting now.
Good luck to you, Mr. Grice, and thank you, Reverend Toddy, for your appearing today as well.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Skinner.
Okay, see you now.
All right, who do we have next? All right, Mrs. Lofton, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning.
And I appreciate your patience. Is that Shanique Lofton?
Shaniqua.
Shaniqua Lofton, okay.
Yes.
This is. All right, this is the city of Detroit versus Shaniqua Lofton, case number 14-564-477, counts 1 and count 3, and SP 10244-071.
Hoffman for defendant. Ma'am, your name, please.
Shaniqua Lofton.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Lofton, the offer in the file today is to plead to a failure to display, and the other 2 matters will be dismissed.
Okay.
Now, I do recognize that you paid the civil infractions that went along with both cases. However, and the one case goes all the way back to 2014. So I don't know if the offer will get any better. So this is 2014. All right, so I will waive the warrant fees, and I will I'll hold you responsible to the reinstatement fees. I just got to let you know, ma'am, that is a misdemeanor that you'll be pleading to. That is an abstractable misdemeanor. It's no points, but that abstraction will be sent to the Secretary of State, and that abstraction will also further suspend your license for another 30 days.
Okay.
All right, do you want to take that deal, ma'am? You have a right to a trial in these matters. You know, theoretically, you know, the 2014 cases are so old. I don't know what whether the officer will show, or whether even if the officer does show, whether the officer will recollect. Mr. Bachman, would you like to speak with your client?
Yes, you know I would, Your Honor, please.
I would. All right, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Bachman, and you guys can talk about the situation, and he can probably help you in formulating a decision one way or the other.
I'm in breakout room 2.
Yes, and that's your room.
Ms. Lofton, I will see you there. I'm going now.
Okay, go. All right. What's that?
Did I miss something?
All right, you guys gotta be quiet.
Did I miss something from someone?
No, you're in, Miss Lofton is in there waiting on you.
All right. I thought I heard Mr. Goss extending a better offer.
Mr. Goss has not, he's still talking to General Landers' lawyer.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right. We're back on the record with Mr. Reno Lander. You had an opportunity to speak with counsel, and the counsel is on the record, on the line as well, City Attorney Goss. Where are we at with Mr. Landers now?
Your Honor, we're going to be asking for a short adjournment on being able to resolve the matter.
All right.
If we could have a week or two.
How long of adjournment do you need, Counselor?
2 to 3 weeks, Judge.
All right.
Did you
So
call the case?
the case has been called.
Am I on the record?
You can put your name on the record.
Dante Goss, on behalf of the city of Detroit, Your Honor, we have no objections to a 2 or 3 week adjournment. But at that time, Mr. Landers should be coming back with a valid driver's license.
Okay. All right. Mrs. Landers, is that what you understand, sir? Or you haven't had a chance to speak with them? You've been sitting there waiting like me and everybody else, haven't you?
No, my lawyer told me he was gonna get it straightened out. That's fine with me, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's go with where's 2 to 3 weeks? Are we looking at a date where we can fit them in time, or should I just what date should we give them time for? You suggest ones that are on here. So let's.
I mean, we can squeeze in
30 days. Or do you suggest the pretrial date or you suggest?
I can just say, yeah, I'll just put it in it.
Marco.
Let's go with September 24th because, Mr. Landers, if you're gonna get a license, then this won't affect you. If you'll have a license, this will just be an allegation out there that'll eventually be cleared up. So let's go with September 24th.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
If there's something further, then your lawyer can come back in and see if we can find him a new date. If you got some pressing things where you need to clear this up for some job or something, I'll be willing to up that date. But until that time, let's just get the driver's license, and then hopefully you can get back in here on the 24th with the September 24th with a driver's license. All right.
Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Thanks,
Mr.
sir.
Landers will be eligible to get his driver's license on August 7th.
On August 7th?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're eligible.
So that gives him enough time to get to the Secretary of State for September. So
Okay.
that's perfect, Your Honor.
All right, so as long as we're on the same page, then good luck to you in trying to get that license, sir. Be back here at September 24th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. and we'll deal with these matters.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. You have a nice day.
All right, you have a better one, sir.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
may I ask that Mr. Goss meet me in the breakout room briefly? Breakout room 2, regarding Ms. Shaniqua Lofton.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the file. I'm gonna put you in breakout room with Mr. Goss.
Thank you.
Hello?
Ms. Lofton,
I'm gonna put you in one, Mr. Boston.
okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, my name's Joseph Lee. I don't know if the day was today or the 5th.
Joseph Lee on there. Morning, Mr. Lee. No, he's not on there.
I know you my judge. I just don't know if it was today or the 5th.
You're probably in the right place. I just don't know if the timing is right.
Eight 12 possibly. Is your middle name Herman?
Yes. There's like a lot of people.
It's a trial.
Oh, is this a trial? Let's see. If there's a trial, we're gonna have to come back on that day.
I know it's supposed to come up. I don't know if it was today, the 5th, or what day.
No, you're Mr. Lee, you're supposed to be back on the 12th. So next Thursday at 9 a.m.
Okay, so I'm early. All right, bet.
Zoom back in there.
All right.
All right, let's go to Mr. Marlo Green. He's probably gonna need to speak to Mr. Boston as well. Let's get some low hanging fruit. Let's see.
Hello?
Yeah, hold on, Mr. Green. You're probably gonna need to speak with the lawyer as well. Let's get these ones out of the way and just have one matter. I got Groggins is one. Let's see what Groggins has. I think there's a young lady at work up there as well.
Yes,
All right, what's your name, ma'am, again?
Shaniqua Lofton.
Oh, yeah, they're working on you now. All right, let's call this case. This is the City of Detroit versus Gerald Groggins, case number SP 111-31981. Mr. Groggins, unfortunately, you paid a civil infraction that cost you 4 points on your license that you got at the same time you got these other tickets. I'm willing to dismiss this ticket, but I'm gonna allow you to speak with the lawyer as well because you have 4 points on your license, and that's gonna be clearly gonna affect your insurance rates. So, I thought that was gonna be an easier one. I'm gonna allow you to speak to Mr. Bachman and see if he can help you out as well. So I'm gonna pass that matter. Let's see. Who else do we have? Let's have Malcolm Little.
Sir.
All right, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Who's that? Is that Bachman back? All right, All right. So, Mr. Boffman, he had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Goss on behalf of Mrs. Lofton?
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask if the court would call the state prosecutor to the meeting, please, and thank you.
All right, while we get the state prosecutor on the line, we're going to handle Mr. Groggins. We've already called the case. We'll be back on the record with Mr. Gerald Groggins, and he's got a situation where he's got 3 matters. He had 3 matters on this one stop, and one of them was a no ops, that's what we're here for today. He paid the no insurance, proof of insurance misdemeanor, and he also paid the 16 to 20 over the speed limit. So I was willing to dismiss the no ops because of those 2 payments, but I always know what you are going to ask. And I have Mr. Goss on the line. Can you put your appearances on the record, please?
Harry Boffman for defendants.
Dante Goss on behalf of the city of Detroit.
Your Honor, would you consider at this time a motion to set aside the default so that we can reformulate a dispositive plea here that is not going to be so oppressive on the defendant and his driving record?
Well, and at this point, it would be a responsible plea, basically. You would be requesting to set aside. So, Mr. Goss, would you want to speak on that, sir? Did you hear Mr. Groggins' situation?
Yes, Your Honor. When was this man? When did he receive these tickets, Your Honor?
He got these tickets during the pandemic on 9/14/2020. He paid.
Then I have no objections, Your Honor. Due to being in pandemic time, Your Honor.
All right, motion granted to set aside the responsible plea in the SP 1113161 matter. So now we are dealing with 2 matters. We're dealing with the speeding 16 to 20 over, and we're dealing with the no ops ticket. He's also, and I'll just state for the record that he also paid a no proof of insurance ticket that went along with that as well. So is there any new offer based on that, Counselor?
Your Honor, I do believe Mr. Boffman's motion was for both matters to be set aside.
For both the matters to be set aside? So you want to relitigate all 3 of them?
I think out of fairness, because that's a civil matter that he paid, Your Honor. So that has different consequences also. So I have no objection to that because he paid the civil matter for no insurance.
All right, motion granted then. So we have 3 matters on the floor now. So is there any new offer for Mr. Groggins?
Your Honor, can myself and Boffman and APA Wolf go into a breakout room and we can discuss that matter in the breakout room?
Certainly. Good morning, APA Wolf.
Good morning.
So you understand what's going on here, Mr. Groggins?
Yes.
All right. So things are good in your favor. So I gathered you understood that because you didn't say anything. You were just listening, astutely listening to what was going on. So.
Right.
And then Mrs. Lofton, they're waiting on you. So Mr. Boffman, you got to join that room.
I'm going to room 1. Can I ask that Ms. Lofton be allowed to wait for me in room 2 so that I can anticipate a discussion with her?
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Lofton, you rejoin that room number 2 and he'll wait on Mr. Boffman to enter that room, okay?
Okay.
All right, I think we got enough things going on at one time.
Excuse me.
Who's
sir.
that? Yeah, who's that? I got.
It's Malik, but
Lane.
yes.
Mr. Lane?
Yes, I came in here like 15 minutes late or whatever about my court appearance. I wanted to see what could I do because of the time difference of where I'm at in Michigan and Kansas right now.
You're where?
I'm in Kansas right now. I have a death in the family, so I didn't know there was an hour time difference.
I'm sorry about the death in the family, Mr. Lane, but you're not even supposed to leave the state. But luckily we have Zoom. Mr. Lane, did you take that course?
Yes, she told me to come back to answer some of the quiz questions upon it.
All right. Do you want to handle your? Do you want another date and handle your funeral? And we'll give you another date, or do you want to take care of this today?
If I could, it'd be fine if I would today.
Pardon me? I can't hear you, sir.
I apologize. I mean, if I could, I would today. But if today is not a good time, but
no, we'll handle it today. When we call your name, just mute yourself until we call your name. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, there we go. Okay, who are we? We're back. Mrs. Wolf, you were here for Mrs. Lofton. Did you guys work out something for Mrs. Lofton? Is she gone? I think she's gone. It's kind of warm in here.
Yeah, weird. You like me to turn the fan on?
People were sitting over there by the fan, and I guess when he left, we turned it off.
Oh, I wasn't sure.
It was when I was over there.
I'll turn it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell them they'll turn some air conditioning on. It's gonna be 90 degrees.
I don't get it. Winter. Oh,
Okay, Mr. Baughman, who are we dealing with first? Mr. Baughman?
Yes, sir.
Are you want to go with, you want to talk to Mrs. Lofton?
I do. I believe she's in room 2.
All right, let's see if we can get rid of Mr. Groggins. Is that something? Class. Mr. Groggins with the class? All right. So, Mr. Groggins, here's what we got for you. Basically, today, you came in today, and we're back on the record with Mr. Gerald Groggins. You came in today with only one matter. You had paid the two civil infractions, which left the one misdemeanor case that you had to come in and have adjudicated, which you did today. And, you know, the parties recognize that you signed up when you paid that civil infraction that you were trying to, you know, take care of the matters, but you didn't, you know, you kind of put yourself in a situation where you signed up for the points once you paid that matter. So your attorney made a motion to set aside the responsible pleas and gave you an opportunity to relitigate all three matters, and that's where we're at this point. So based on the nature of the speeding violation, this is court's policy to not give you an offer on that speeding ticket until you go to the Michigan Defensive Driving course. I'm gonna put that course in the chat. Now that's up to you to do the course, but what doing the course will do is it will give you an opportunity to come back give us some substantive information of what you learned in the course, and it will, that based on the information that you give, the more information, I'm sure it's gonna look better on the city attorney to give you a more favorable offer. I've seen them go all the way to a blocking traffic ticket, which would be no points and just basically an expensive parking ticket. The money that you paid will be applied to whatever infraction that you ultimately plead to, if you plead to it, and you still have a right to the trial in the matter if you like. But if you want, we're going to allow you to take this Michigan defensive driving course, and that will go a long way into helping you put these matters behind you with not the points on your license that you signed up for when you paid those tickets.
Excuse me, Your Honor. All right, Dante Garson on behalf of the city of Detroit. Your Honor, I just want to put the offer I made to Mr. Walken on the record.
Okay.
And that will be, if Mr. Garagis take the Michigan defensive driving course, I will give him a limited access 65 and a 55, which is a 1 point matter. However, if Mr. Garagis come into the court on within 30 days and tell us what he learned from the class, and it's substantial. It's substantially showing that he took the class serious. I will be willing to make that offer a little bit better by going down to blockading, and I will dismiss the other two matters.
Okay, did you understand that, Mr. Groggins?
Yes, I understood that.
All right, so you have an opportunity to come out of this with 0 points and possibly getting some money back if you, depending on how well you perform in the course and what kind of substantive information that you have. The more the dialogue, the better. I can only say that. And so are you willing to do that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I'm going to give you 30 days to do that. I'm going to set this matter for September 3rd, 2021. Let me ask you this, sir. Do you have a driver's license now?
I have a driver's license. My driver's license was valid the day that they gave me the ticket. I ran out the house and left my driver's license next to the orange juice that morning. So I had driver's license that day. I just forgot them and left them at home. But I'm willing to do.
And see, the thing about it is, when you say that, you automatically bits of what they charge you with display a valid license. But I'm asking for the purposes of asking you if you were looking to get a driver's license, then I would tell you that you can come in before September 3rd, and that you can as soon as you finish the class, you can zoom in and we can pull your file. But if you're not looking to get a driver's license, then the September 3rd date will be fine. So if you need to get a driver's license and this is holding you up, then you can take the course. As soon as you finish taking the course, you can just zoom in on 8:30 one morning, and then we'll pull your file and we'll assist it. We'll hear the case and we'll get the stuff cleared up. But if you're not worried about the driver's license, or if you already have one, then you just come back September 3rd, and then come back ready to provide the court and everybody listening that substantive information that you learned.
Okay, so I won't be able to get my driver's license until I do this.
If you don't have one, you won't.
Yeah, my license is suspended right now.
Okay, it is suspended, so you won't be able to get a driver's license until you do this course. So you need to do this course as soon as possible, and then zoom back in, and we'll pull your file.
When can I go do the course?
You can hang up and do it right now. www. You got an ink pen? I'll put it in the chat. Where the course is taken.
Okay, I'm getting the ink pen right this second.
All right.
Miss Lofton, she gave ATA both gave offer. Yeah, she authorized me to.
So www.michigandefensivedriving.com.
MichiganDefensiveDriving.com.
Yeah, I put it in the chat. If you look at the chat, you'll see that.
I don't know how to work these phones too good. My wife is writing it down now though.
So MichiganDefensiveDriving.com. Please select the Detroit defensive driving option when you get on there. That should be a $60 course. If you have any problems, you need to call the court because we want to make sure you take the right course.
Okay, so I'm about to log into this and take the course. They'll take a credit card payment over the phone?
I'm sure they will. They're going to take it over the internet. You know they're going to take money over you know they're going to take your money, Mr. Grogan.
All right, and then once I do that, just come back, get back on here and zoom back in.
Tomorrow, if you finish it today, zoom back in tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. I'll zoom back in tomorrow morning at 8:30.
And be ready to have some dialogue on this. The better the dialogue, the better the offer.
Okay, yes.
All right.
Okay. All right, I'll see you in the morning. I'll talk to you in the morning at 8:30.
Very well.
Okay, bye-bye.
Right. All right, let's recall the case of Mrs. Lofton.
She's in the breakout room waiting for me, Your Honor. May I take just a moment to just advise her? Can you put me in breakout room 2, I believe? Thank you. Be right back.
All right, who's on that phone with 677-8790?
That's me, Your Honor. David Lantz, Lantz.
All right, good morning to you, Mr. Lantz.
Good morning.
Lantz. All right.
Said Malcolm Little.
Yeah, let me see what you have going on, sir.
Okay.
Can you give us an update at all, Mr. Lowe? How many people do we have? We got a few more. One. All right, you can give this Lofton now. All right. We're back on the record with Mrs. Lofton. Mr. Bossman, you had an opportunity to speak with Mrs. Lofton, and you had an opportunity to speak with APA Wolf and City Attorney Boss.
Yes,
Where are we
Your
at?
There is a plea recommendation on the table where if the defendant pled guilty here and now to the SP count of no ops, that would be reduced by the state attorney to allowing an unlicensed to drive. That is a no point offense that does not abstract to the Secretary of State. The defendant would pay a fine here for that. And in exchange for her plea to that the other 2014 cases ending in 4771 and 4773 would be here dismissed on my stipulation of probable cause, which I'm giving now, Your Honor. Thank you.
There you go.
I take also the City of Detroit. Yes, Your Honor, that is correct. And I got approval from APA Wolf to enter into this agreement with the state.
Ms. Lofton, that's just a fine example of good lawyering on your behalf and you being patient and allowing him to do the job that he has signed up to do. And he does a very good job of it, and I appreciate it. So let's say this, Mrs. Lofton, you understand the offer today?
Yes.
You understand that it's going to be a $240 fine today?
Does that come out of the, because he was saying that no?
Yes, it'll come out of your bond.
Okay. Yes, I understand that.
Are you willing to take that deal today, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, you can put your hand down. You understand by taking this offer today, you understand you have a right to a trial?
Yes.
You understand by taking this offer, you're going to give that trial right up?
Yes.
Are you taking this on your own free will?
Yes.
And has anybody offered you anything other than what's been put in the record?
No.
Okay, ma'am, I'm going to draw your attention to September 10th, 2019 at around 4:39 p.m. in the city of Detroit, in the area of Plymouth and Greenfield, ma'am. Did you have an occasion on that day to be pulled over by a Detroit police officer?
Yes.
And on that date, ma'am, did that Detroit police officer ask you to produce a valid driver's license?
Yes.
And you couldn't do so, could you, ma'am?
No.
And why is that?
Because I didn't have any.
Because you didn't have your license at the time, correct?
No. Yes,
All right.
correct.
Very well. I'm going to accept your plea to the amended count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. I'm going to take that plea under a 3-month delayed sentence. I'm going to say one step further, ma'am, that I'm going to dismiss the matter once you pay the $240. So I'm going to find you guilty of the amended count of allowing an unlicensed person to drive. I'm going to fine you $240. I'm going to dismiss the matter immediately upon payment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so and your counsel's already stipulated to the probable cause. I will dismiss the other matters, the other 2 matters. And what we'll do about the bond, ma'am, is one of 2 things. You can either come down to the court, well, it's more than 2 things. You can either come down to the court and ask them to apply that bond immediately to the matters, and they will. And the remaining amount of your bond, if there's anything left over, will be mailed back to you. I can ask my clerk to put a request in for that bond to be applied here, and I can give you a phone number to call that you would call and ask them over the phone to apply that bond. Or you can pay the matters online or at any DivDav kiosk in the city of Detroit. And then the bond, after that, those matters are closed out, the bond will automatically generate a return to you. So you tell me how you want to handle that, ma'am.
I would like the second option.
And that would be to ask the clerk to apply the bond. Yes. And you phone call. Okay, very well. I'm going to waive the warrant fees, ma'am, but you're going to be responsible to pay the reinstatement fees. The payment of those reinstatement fees have nothing to do with this order today. If you pay the 240, ma'am, the case will be dismissed. If you don't pay the reinstatement fees, though, you won't be able to go to Secretary of State and have clearances through 36th District Court to get a driver's license. You have an ink pen, ma'am?
Yes.
I'll put the number in the chat for you.
I have one. I'm ready.
Ready? You ready?
Yes.
All right. The number is 313-965-5228.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All right, very well. If there's nothing further, ma'am, then you have a very good day.
Okay, thank you. Do I pay the reinstatement fees to the Secretary of State?
All of those things will come out of that bond money. You'll pay them right with the 36th District Court.
Oh,
so they're probably going to take all that money before they return anything to you anyway.
I'm sure. Okay, thank you.
All right, have a great day, ma'am.
You too.
What do we have next? Next on the list, let's just go back in order with let's go back in order. I got Malcolm Little here who has a deal now. So let's call this case, which is the City of Detroit versus Malcolm Joel Little, case number SP 107776111 217-19135, counts 1 and counts 2.
Harry
All right.
Poppy for the defendant.
Very well. Mr. Little, there's an offer here in the file that is to plead to 1 count of failure to display, the amended count of failure to display, and dismiss the other 2 matters. I'll fine you $240, and I will, I'll give you time to pay. I'll have to say that the failure to display is a misdemeanor and it is abstractable to the Secretary of State. It doesn't carry any points, but it will put an additional 30-day suspension on your license. So you have Mr. Baughman on the line. You want to speak with him in a breakout room, I can provide that to you. And you, as well as everybody else on here, has a right to take the matter to trial. What would you like to do, sir?
I would like to speak to him. That's fine.
Very well. Okay. Join that breakout room, please. All right. Let's call the case of Marlo Green. The case is. All right. And I'm just going to call and get you ready, because I'm sure that you're going to need to speak with the lawyer as well, or you may want to. That's up to you. All right. This is the City of Detroit versus Marlo Delane Green, case numbers SP 105662 9, counts 1, 2, and 3. SP 12094-831, SP 1210299, counts 1 and counts 2. And this one's in warrant status 19-313-8721. Let me ask you this, Mr. Green, are you a junior?
No, I'm the senior.
All right, so let's back that out then. That may be possibly your son or somebody else. You're 10/7/1968, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so strike all that. We'll recall the cases again. And this is just Detroit versus Marlowe, Delane Green, case number SP 105-66291. SP 105-66292 and SP 105-66293.
For defendant. Ms. Green,
Yeah. Mr. Green.
Mr. Green, excuse me, I'm sorry.
We
Mr.
have
Green, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you state your name, please?
Marlo Green.
Thank you.
Looking at this, he's going to need to speak to you as well, Mr. Baughman. He had 4 matters that went along with this case, and 3 of them, the driver's license suspended, unregistered, untitled, no insurance misdemeanor, and a 31 miles per hour over the speed limit, sir. 61 in a 30 that you already pled responsible to and paid the fine. So you probably definitely need to speak to Mr. Baughman. So what I'm going to do, Mr. Green, is I'm going to assign you to breakout room 2. Join that room and wait on Mr. Baughman, please. Okay, Mr. Baughman, where are we?
So, Mr. Little is going to waive rights here and now, Your Honor, and plead guilty pursuant to the recommendation.
Okay, the failure to display?
Yes.
All right, very well. Mr. Little, can you put your camera on, please, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Little, I gave you an opportunity to speak with Mr. Baughman in the breakout room, and it's my understanding that you want to plead guilty to this matter and clear it up?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Little, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. Sir, you understand you have a right to a trial in these matters?
Yes.
You understand by taking this offer, you're going to give that trial right up?
Yes.
Has anybody offered you anything other than what's been stated in the record?
No.
Okay, Mr. Little, let me draw your attention to May the 14th, 2021, at around 6:10 p.m. in the area of Plymouth and Burke. Did you have an occasion on that day to be pulled over by a Detroit police officer, sir?
Yes.
And on that day, did that police officer ask you to produce a valid driver's license?
Yes.
And you couldn't do so, could you, sir?
No, I could not.
Why is that?
Because I lost it.
When you say you lost it, you mean that you your driving privilege was suspended, right?
Yes.
I'm satisfied, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, very well. I'm satisfied too. I'm going to accept your guilty plea to the admitted count of failure to display. I'm going to fine you $240 in that matter with stipulation of probable cause. Counselor, I will dismiss the other matter.
So stipulated. Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Little, how much time do you need to pay this?
I can pay it next Tuesday.
All right, I'm gonna put in the computer, next Wednesday, August the 11th, 2021. Mr. Little, I'm gonna waive any warrant fees, but you two are gonna be responsible to pay any reinstatement fees if there's any. That's not gonna be a part of this record. All I'm concerned about today is the $240. I will say this, Mr. Little, if you find yourself in the position where you haven't paid this by August the 11th, then you need to zoom back in and ask the court to see if we can find you some more time, sir, because I don't want this to become a situation where it adds on interest and penalties and fees and all that other stuff, okay?
Okay. Now, would I be able to pay it online? Or?
Pay it online at 36districtcourt.org, any DivDav kiosk in the city of Detroit, or you can come down to the court and pay it.
Okay.
All right, no further questions, sir, then you have a very good day.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Green has a 31 over that he paid. He got just a driver while license suspended, unregistered.
Was it doing that?
Yeah, it was, well, yeah, it was last year. It was just before everything really broke off, like the pandemic started. Before,
I'm going to get to.
Yeah, so we'll see what he's talking to Mr. Ball.
Yeah, but I know Balkan's gonna tell him.
Oh, I think you better get all the information. Okay, so we got Mr. Green, and then we have Mrs. Gardner. Is Ms. Gardner there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, you almost lost your spot, man. All right. Good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning.
Let's see here. Is that Dania Gardner?
Yes, sir.
Let's call the case. This is the city of Detroit versus Dania Gardner. Case numbers SP 1100254, counts 1, 2, and 3. Case number 194269641. Ms. Gardner, I have an offer here in the file for you. It says additional statement. See what you have going on. You paid a ticket to expired plates. It says dismissed by party on 7/26/2021. Online. So did you pay the matter and they dismissed it, or what happened?
No, I tried to resolve the ticket shortly after receiving it. So I did the resolve the ticket online, and next thing I know, I just received a clearance and stating that the case was closed in the mail. So
Very good, ma'am. So that's one matter that you have to deal with. Title. That's the 257. I don't see any but one additional state matter. So the deal today, ma'am, is to plead to the amended count of failure to display for the improper license ticket, and the other 3 matters will be dismissed. I'll give you fine you $240. I'll give you time to pay. That is a misdemeanor. that is abstractable to the Secretary of State, but it doesn't carry any points. And it's gonna also trigger an automatic 30-day further suspension.
Okay.
Is that something that you want to take, ma'am, or do you need to speak with a lawyer? And you can also set these matters up for trial.
No, I'm okay with that offer.
All right, Mr. Baughman, you probably didn't hear that. We're dealing with Mrs. Dania Gardner, and she has 4 open misdemeanors.
On my end, it shows that it was. Sorry.
And the 4 open misdemeanors, and the offer is plead to one of them, dismiss the other 3, $240 fine. That's pleading to a failure to display. Waive the warrant fees, and she'll be responsible to pay the 4 reinstatement fees.
Sounds like a good deal to me, Miss.
I agree.
She indicated that she, all right, Mrs. Gardner?
Yes.
Where are you in the process of getting a license, ma'am?
I was actually just trying to clear up the warrants with the 36th District Court, and then I was gonna go ahead and make the appointment at the SOS. So this was the last stop.
How is your driving record?
I'm not sure, just to be honest.
Pull her driving record, please. All right, I don't want to hurt. I like that. I'm sure she would. All right, I need to see your face, Ms. Gardner.
Okay.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, ma'am, do you understand you have a right? You put your hand down. You understand you have a right to a trial in these matters?
Yes.
You understand by taking this offer, you're going to give that trial right up?
Yes.
Has anybody offered you anything other than what was just been stated in the record?
No.
Okay, let's see if the offer will get any better for you based on this driving record that you got.
Oh, yeah.
I got it. Hey. It does appear that she can get a driver's license and she takes care of this stuff. You're better at reading that, but I'm getting a little bit more efficient. Right.
For running through lights, this is just bad plates and no driver's license.
So, ma'am, I don't know why you continue to get pulled over. I can only assume that part of the reason is you're not having correct plates on your vehicle. But I see that you don't have many moving violations. You probably got one failure to stop a stop sign. And all of them are just bad plates, no insurance, and unregistered, untitled. So based on that, I think the city attorney will amend his offer to an allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. That's pretty much the best it's gonna get here, ma'am. That allows you an opportunity to not have any abstractions, so you can go straight to the 36th District Court once you pay these matters. And even it'll allow you to get the case completely dismissed upon payment of that $240 fine. So, ma'am, do you want to take that offer?
Yes, I do.
All right, can you raise your right hand, please, ma'am? I already did that. Ma'am, let me ask you this. You understand you have a right to a trial. I think I said all that too, didn't I, Madam Court Reporter? Let me draw your attention, ma'am, to, who's this? August 17th, 2020, at around 3:07 p.m. in the city of Detroit in the area of Dexter and Claremont, ma'am. Did you have an occasion on that date to be pulled over by a Detroit police officer?
Yes.
And on that date, did that officer ask you to produce a valid driver's license?
Yes.
And you couldn't do so on that date, could you, ma'am?
No.
And why is that?
Because my license was suspended.
Very well. The court is going to find you guilty of the amended count, allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. Mr. Baldwin, got stuff going on in the background there.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I thought I was on mute. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
the court is going to find you guilty of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. I'm going to fine you $240. I'm going to take that under a 3-month delay, and I'll take it one step further, and I will dismiss the case immediately upon payment. This is Gardner. I'm going to give you until November 2nd, 2021 to pay it. But I'm going to tell you, as soon as you pay it, the sooner you pay it, the sooner the case will be completely dismissed. I'm going to waive any warrant fees. I'm going to hold you responsible still for the reinstatement fees, which won't be a part of this order right here. All I'm concerned about is the 240, but just keep in mind that you got 4 reinstatement fees of that's $45 a piece. So that would be $180 in addition to the 240. If you want to go to the Secretary of State, you need to have that 180 paid in addition to that 240. But all I'm concerned about is the 240. You pay the other reinstatement fees when you want to. Can you stipulate the probable cause, Counselor?
Absolutely, yes, Your Honor, so stipulated.
All right. Based on that, the other matter is going to be dismissed. Mrs. Garner, if there's no further questions, you're free to leave. Have a very good day, ma'am.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Very well. All right. Let's go to. Well, let's get Malcolm Little. We got Malcolm Little? Or what is this, Marlo Green?
To Mr. Little, Your Honor, we're asking for an adjourned trial or adjourned court date wherein Mr. Little can return having completed a defensive driving course and put himself in a better position to receive.
Did we ever see Mr. Little? I don't see him on the line anymore.
He must have dropped off, Your Honor. He'll probably come right back.
Did we already deal with Mr. Little?
I believe we did, Mr. Little, Your Honor.
We did. I have him marked off as done.
Okay. Let's go with Mr. Green.
That's the one.
Is Mr. Green still here?
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. He's still in the breakout room because he came on the phone. He's unable to bring himself out of that breakout.
Okay. All right, let's go back on the record with Mr. Marlo Green. I just closed this breakout room out. But Counselor, has there been, you've had some time to discuss with Mr. Green his situation. Now, let me say this about Mr. Green. Is that the same Mr. Green that, let me see. There was one person that I think that was another person. Let's see. Yes, so let's go back to Mr. Green. I mistakenly included Mr. Green, possibly his son's cases matter. Okay, you got your back, Mr. Green? All right, and what I did was, I'm sorry, Mr. Green, you there?
Yes.
All right, let me say this. Okay, we're back on the record with Mr. Marlo Elaine Green. And what I did was, Mr. Goss, was I included his, possibly, I think that may be your son's tickets on there. So that was what the original offer was. I mean, the offer that you had made up, I asked you to look back at. I was mistaken in including those tickets, and he just has the 3 open tickets right now. But we're also dealing with another situation where he paid a civil infraction of 31 miles an hour over. What? Mr.
Was
Green,
that during
Mr. Green,
pandemic?
it was during the pandemic. Mr. Baughman, you there? Mr. Green, what necessitates you having to go 30 miles or 31 miles an hour over the speed limit, I have absolutely no idea. Do you feel like enlightening us on that?
I did something stupid. I was trying to do the red light, and I was trying to get to the DHS office. I had just got off work, trying to get there.
And Mr. Green, let me ask you this: if you hit a child, or if you hit a group of children crossing the street, I mean, would it have been worth it?
Yeah, it probably would. Hopefully, glad it wasn't nothing like that.
No, I'm saying if you hit a child, it would haunt you for the rest of your life driving 61 over, right? The child steps out in the street. Do you have kids yourself, don't you, Mr. Green?
Yes, sir.
How would you feel if you got the call that one of your kids got hit by a driver that was going 31 miles an hour over the speed limit?
I would probably be upset.
You wouldn't even probably be upset, would you?
No.
You know you would be
upset.
That's it.
I would be upset, guys.
All right. So what's the if you want to enlighten us on how we're gonna move forward, Counselor, let's see what's gonna happen with this. Mr. Bachman? Did we lose him? On mute, and video is off. Well, now we lost a lawyer, Mr. Green. But that is just really, and then when you're trying to rush to get somewhere, it didn't get you in there any quicker, did it?
No, y'all took my car.
Took your car, you lost, you lost the whole day.
We didn't take your car.
The police took the car. Yeah, I didn't take your car.
This is separate engines.
But hey, I'll tell you this, Mr. Green, I might have took your car too if I was there and stopped you for doing that mile over. Hey, you might have took somebody's car if you caught them doing that fast, wouldn't you? Let's talk, Mr. Bachman. What's going on with Mr. Green? You're on mute.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, we're asking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Court reporter speaking. Can we pause for 1 second and switch tapes before Mr.
All right.
Your Honor.
Ready? Madam Court reporter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's go with back on the record with Mr. Green. Where are we at with Mr. Green, Mr. Bachman?
Well, it's obvious and apparent that Mr. Green needs to rehabilitate his image and when it comes to traffic and his behaviors. And we're asking respectfully if this matter could be set over for a date and time when the defendant can return, having completed the Michigan Defensive Driving course. I did relay that information to him. He did indicate a willingness to submit to that information and to come back. He's going to take copious notes and tell this court all of the things that he learned during that course, and hopefully that will put people in a disposition to work out something where he will he's not as exposed. At 31 mile an hour over the speed limit pace is going to cause him to take 4 to 6 points on his driving record. He's going to try to avoid that, Your Honor. Thanks.
All right. Mr. Green, we're going to give you an opportunity to rehabilitate yourself. I'm always going to be kind of difficult on people driving that way. I have kids, and everybody's got somebody in their family that that's young, and we know kids on the block, and they do things, and it just creates a recipe for disaster. Plus all the other people on the road. Your stuff is not as important as anybody else's. So it's my understanding that you want to take the Michigan Defensive Driving course, Mr. Green?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. We'll set aside the, I've already granted the motion to set aside the civil infraction of 31 over. So, and I'm going to give you, Mr. Green, until September 3rd to take that course, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Please bring back some information that you learned and some information that you feel that that the people should know. Let's please bring back some dialogue. Let's have some good conversation about what you learned out of this course. And I stress that for 2 reasons. Because first of all, for selfish reasons, you can get probably a better offer from the city attorney if you convince them that you took this course seriously. But for other reasons, I think that there is a lot to learn in that course. And I think that the people that will be listening on that day can learn something as well. And it may convince them to slow down as well. So I'll set aside the default at SP 105-66051. We'll be back for a pretrial on all these matters on September 3rd, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Mr. Green, I'll offer you the same thing that I offered the last gentleman, is that when you, I see you probably don't have a driver's license now. If you finish that course sooner than September 3rd, then you can zoom back in on any day at 8:30 in the morning, and we'll pull your file so we can get you taken care of so that you can go get a license. Is there anything further, sir?
So fast I gotta do this whole course. It's a whole course.
It's a whole course. It's online. It's 8 hours. It's 14 quizzes and 1 test, and you'll get a certificate. I need that certificate as well emailed to me to show proof that you took that course. Did you write the information down to the course?
Yeah, I wrote it down, and I gotta email you. What's your email?
You got an ink pen ready?
Yes, sir.
SEAN period PERKINS.
You said S. S.
S is in Sean. SEAN period PERKINS at 3636th districtcourt.org.
Okay.
You want to repeat that back to me, sir, to make sure you have the right one?
SEN dot Perkins.
No. SEAN.
SEAN.
Yes. Dot Perkins, PERKINS at 36th districtcourt.org. ORG.
At 3?
6. The number 36.
Yeah, 36. Like 36 district, right?
Yeah, Yep, 36districtcourt.org.
Okay.
All right?
All right. So I got till September the 3rd. Well, before I got till September the 3rd to do this course. If I do it before then, get the certificate, send it to you.
And then zoom in.
And take some notes so I can have some notes for the next time we on that court.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. I would say slow down, but you're not supposed to be driving anyway, so I know you're gonna Uber everywhere you go or get your driver to drive you places. So, but have a great day, Mr. Green. If you don't have it.
I'm catching the bus now.
All right, I might see you on the bus then. All right.
All right, y'all have a nice day. Thank you.
Have a great one, you as well.
All right.
All right. Let's call, we got rid of Mr. Little. Let's have Mr. Malik Lane. So Mr. Lane.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead. Let's go do Mr. Lane, and then we're gonna do Mr. Owens next. All right. So all right, this is the city of Detroit versus Malik Mantez Lane, case numbers SP 1092937, counts 1 and counts 2.
Harry Boppin for defendant. Sir, your name, please.
Malik Lane.
So Mr. Lane has been charged with reckless driving. That's a 6-point offense. That's a mandatory hard 90-day suspension. And driving license never acquired. That is also punishable by 90 days in jail and a $500 fine. Mr. Lane was here on, I think, July 30th, you were here. Or he was here previously. We reset the date till August 4th because Mr. Lane wanted to take advantage of the Michigan defensive driving course. I didn't get a copy of that certificate, sir.
I sent it to you a few days ago.
Okay, let me check that. So let's talk about the course, sir. How did you like the course?
The course, I understood, you know, all of the rules and things like that acquired to, you know, driving and safety and other people's safety as in pedestrians and, you know, stuff like that. So I understand the course.
What did you get out of it? Come on, you got to give us more. Listen, you got to listen.
Okay.
You got to driving offense, and you got to bring something to the table in order for somebody to want to do something for you. So let's bring it, man.
Okay. I like far as my record, stuff like that. I know that anger can cause this, you know, speed and driving as in me driving out of control, things like that. And it's a lot of people like pedestrians and stuff like that, getting hit or, you know, killed far as the driving or driving reckless. So I take full responsibility of that. And if I do get pulled over or anything like that, I imply, you know, consent of any type of law enforcement as far as my license or registration, anything like that. Or why was I driving the way I was? Driving, first off, you don't supposed to be driving over the speed limit, first off. Second, you always supposed to stop during any stop signs or yield signs or any blinking lights. It is really, as far as my situation, I mean, I had a purpose, but I'm not gonna make that as an excuse. As far as driving behind other cars or anything like that, I'm supposed to keep a certain distance. I don't know.
What's that distance be?
I didn't hear you, sir.
And what's that distance supposed to be?
The distance supposed to be over. I would say 1 second, sir.
I think it's at least two car lengths, sir.
Hear you?
I think it's at least two car lengths. So Mr. Lane.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned things about not supposed to be speeding, supposed to stop at stoplights. You're supposed to do this. This is all something you already knew. Let's find out something that you didn't know that you got out of the course.
That I didn't know as far as
Let's talk about the implied consent. The implied consent, you threw out that term, and I'm very familiar with that term in drunk driving cases.
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what they were talking about in the implied consent when you sign up for a driver's license?
Yes. You must either, take a blood or take a blood or a death test when asked by law enforcement.
All right, and let's get that cleared up. So there's two tests that the officers, or let's say two or three tests that the officers will ask you to take. The first test is a PBT test. That's a preliminary blood test. That's not a part of the implied consent law. The preliminary breath test is not something that they can normally use against you. That's something that they want to try to help establish probable cause that you were actually drinking. So you can refuse a preliminary breath test that is a misdemeanor. Strike that. That is a civil infraction, and you can be fined for that, but you don't have to submit to that if you don't want to. As far as the data master or the blood draw, that's when the implied consent comes in. So generally, after the stop, after the preliminary breath test is either taken or refused, then at some point they will ask you, if they feel that you're over the limit, will ask you to submit to either a data master or to a blood draw. And they can choose either or in that thing. If you refuse to do that because you have signed up for a driver's license and you have given them implied consent by signing up for a driver's license that you will submit to those tests when asked, that's when the implied consent law comes into play. Is that how they described it, sir?
As far as taking the test and blood stuff like that, they no. As far as the blood test, no, they ask you for an alcohol. Yes, alcohol test, as in the breather. Yes.
All right, sir. Today, what the offer is going to be. Now, hold on. Let's talk about Mr. Boffman. Would you like to speak to? So let's Mr. Lane might want to speak to you in a breakout room. He mentioned he's been charged with reckless driving. He took the course. I got a certificate that he took the course. He's given us some kind of dialogue. I don't know if he's nervous. Didn't take that good of notes, but he didn't bring us the dialogue that we thought that we were going to get from him. But I do see that he took the course, and by his conversation, I do trust that he did go through and complete the course, because he is giving out some terminology that normally a person wouldn't necessarily know. But he mentioned that he has some sort of reasoning for driving in the manner that he does. I don't have an actual ticket in front of me to list what they considered reckless driving on that day. And Mr. Goss has given an offer here of limited access.
No, speeding.
Oh, speeding, not limited access. 65 and a 55, which reduces that reckless driving 6-point offense to a 2-point offense. And
Yeah.
He's raising his hand. Let me say this, Mr. Gillane. Just keep quiet for a minute and let your attorney work for you, okay?
Yes, sir.
You'll get an opportunity to speak if, but I want you to speak with the lawyer before you do say something, all right?
Yes,
Who's
sir.
driving up there on the screen up there to the left?
They don't know the screen positions. What the name is.
So,
Mark is on.
Mr. Orange, you're gonna have to pull over that vehicle, sir. There's no driving in court.
Okay.
All right, so let me get you in a breakout room with Mr. Baughman.
Thank you, Your Honor. It won't be long.
And talk to Mr. Baughman, then you can tell him what you seeming to want to tell the court right now, and let him filter that through him, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Room 2.
What's the record? How do you know what reckless driving they're talking about? They don't give you any scenario of what he's done.
But we don't have to take in front of them, but 6 points out of 2.
I would ask for a trial rate on my suspicion.
The officer can bring an original ticket. You know, he got notice, but the ticket to the guy wasn't here when they took out.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. He got the original ticket, but he got it. So he did get notice from the original ticket.
What I'm saying is that they have to bring the original ticket, or he has to stay on the record. What he did to constitute reckless driving comes into court.
But would you want to take the gamble of taking a 6 point instead of a 2 pointer?
I probably would.
I wouldn't.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah. Shannon's boss is calling.
All right. How long will you be, you know?
Huh?
You don't have time to listen to what Mr. Lane has to say, or that's not gonna convince you to change your mind?
Not really. If it changes yours,
we'll see what he says.
But he gotta take something. He gotta take some points. I can't 6 points. I can't wipe away because I don't lose my job.
All right, that's cool. Well, we'll just leave it at that then. All right, let's do this. Let's call Mr. Owens' case. He still hasn't pulled over yet. Let's call Mr. Owens. You pull over yet, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's call the case. All right, this is the city of Detroit versus Marcus Owen. Case number U55723-420. Mr. Owen, you were charged with failure to pay boarding a streetcar without payment of legal fare. So I don't know what's going on with that, but Woodward and Malcolm. So I can only imagine that was a people mover, but the offer here is a 3-month delayed sentence to a misdemeanor. So if you want to plead guilty to that, I will dismiss the case immediately upon payment, or dismiss it in 3 months if you make the payment by the end of the 3-month period. But that's awfully expensive. That turned that, what, $1.50 fare or whatever that fare was into a $240 fine. If that's actually did what you did, they say you did. Or you can you can set this matter for a bench trial. And you can have the officer come in and they have to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt that you failed to pay the streetcar legal fare of the streetcar. I can put you in a breakout room with Mr. Baughman so you can discuss the matter and help you and assist you in finding out what direction to go into. But you always have that trial right, and you can always take this deal here. The case will be dismissed immediately upon payment.
Yes, I had a question. Can you repeat the charges of failure to pay or did not pay? And then my second question
is boarding streetcar without payment of legal fare.
Okay.
So I would surmise that if you'd have to pay the whole fare, even if you paid a partial fare, then that would probably constitute this. But I haven't looked at the statute. But it says boarding streetcar without payment on the ticket. I have the original ticket right here in front of me. Let's
I got one more question. Can you please give me the date, and then I'm ready for the breakout room.
All right, the date on that.
Was that January 30th?
Yes, that was. You already know.
Around 8 o'clock?
Around 8:50 p.m., yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'll go to the breakout room, my lawyer.
Okay, then. Give me a minute. Let's get back on the record with Mr. Lane. Is there something substantive that Mr. Lane would like to bring to the court, Mr. Baughman?
Absolutely. I'll leave it to Mr. Lane as I don't want to be viewed as a mouthpiece, but I do think he has a substantial understanding of why he's here and how to prevent this in the future. Mr. Lane, could you go ahead and speak your piece?
Yes, as far as anything like any excuses or anything like that, that far as the reason, I don't really have a reason, but I do, like I told you, hold myself accountable for the things that I have caused and, the charges that I have acquired. I just would tell you that I will never, do that again and speed the way I was speeding like that. So I just I don't want any of that to happen as far as my behalf or put anyone else in jeopardy losing their life or anything or being injured.
All right. Well, something, I'll tell you what, Mr. Lane, you really sound sincere about that. And it seems like how old are you, sir?
I just turned 22.
Pull this driving record, please. 22. 22? Yeah. Pull this driving record. Let's see what's going on with your history, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, let you tell us before we get the record. What are we gonna see?
What you're going to see as far as my first ticket, I had turned the corner, and the police officer was right there. He said he had clocked me a few over or whatever, but I wasn't about to argue with the officer. So I just accepted the ticket and, paid for it. It took me a little while to pay for it, but because of, financial problems. So, but I was catching the bus to make sure I get to court and everything like that.
I'm not talking about, being able to pay or anything. I'm talking about the actual driving record itself. So
just a ticket.
At least one speeding ticket?
Yeah, it was just a few miles per hour over. That's what he said he clocked me at. So
let's see what you got. That Hamtramck, 39 and 25 over. And then this reckless driving. So you, I mean, you don't have a very bad record. I've seen a lot worse at 22 years old. Yeah. Okay. All right, so here's the deal, sir. Based on your taking the class and your dialogue that you brought, based on the fact that the court really feels you're sincere in that, what were you doing to get the reckless driving, sir? Let's swear you in. Do you want to take the offer? The offer here, Mr. Baughman, for your client is to plead to limited access. What is that, 65 and a 55? 65 and a 55. I believe that's a 1-point offense.
Absolutely, yes, Your Honor. The defendant's going to waive rights here and now and plead guilty to pursuant to that recommendation.
And that's for, well, how does that work? I mean, that's a civil infraction. And reckless is a misdemeanor. What is the? No, his license is suspended, and that is he's only got a few things going on. All right,
We don't have to change that.
let's raise your right hand, sir. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, will you allow your client to speak on the matter of what he was doing at the time? We're going to try to fashion him an offer because you can't reduce the misdemeanor to a civil infraction. You've got two misdemeanors here, but the other misdemeanor is just driving while license never acquired. You never had a license, sir?
During that time, I didn't end up having one. But when I came to court within the time period, I told them that I was waiting on my license to come in the mail, and they said, "Okay, we're gonna reschedule you," and they never hosted the Zoom court.
Well, that's for this case here.
So, Your Honor, the defendant, considering not only the information that the defendant has placed on the record here today, but also the fact that the court has reviewed his driving record, we would ask specifically if the defendant could here and now plead guilty to a blockading. This would protect him in terms of his driver's license status because it does not abstract to the Secretary of State, and the court could still assess a fine and cost in order to punish the defendant for his behaviors. As far as what he was doing, Your Honor, if you would allow me to make the record, then that will insulate him from making a statement here. I did speak to him about that.
Mr. Baughman.
Yes.
Sorry, we can't do that because that's a civil infraction also.
Oh.
So if you have to something in a misdemeanor range.
All right, and I do see that there was a on 8/27/2020, probably in the heart of the pandemic, it was removed from the calendar and scheduled for a hearing on 10/14/2020 at 1:30 p.m. And it mentions here that the defendant failed to appear for that. I don't know.
What's the other charge?
Driving while license never acquired.
Okay. Excuse me.
Don't say anything yet, Mr. Lane.
All right.
Would you, can we do improper plates?
That carries 0 points.
Right.
He has to take some points.
Okay.
And if you look at it's gonna be a 2 point. That's the only thing I see. Thank you. Notice that. No ops, no ops. We do no ops.
Okay.
That's the lowest is confined as 2 points.
All right. So did you understand that, sir?
We do.
Yes, sir.
There's gonna be a 2-point offense of no ops, that reckless driving will be dismissed or amended to a no ops, or what are you gonna do? Dismiss the reckless driving and
No, amend
the reckless driving to a no ops and dismiss the other matter. That's gonna be $240 fine. That's gonna be 2 points on your driver's license. You wanna take that deal, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, you understand you have a right to a trial in these matters?
I didn't hear you.
You understand you have a right to a trial in these matters?
Yes, sir.
You understand by taking this deal, you're gonna give that trial right up?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Bachman, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Mr. Lewis.
Understood. Okay.
He's got to tell you to pay, the fare, streetcar fare.
Mr. Owens, Your Honor.
Mr. Owens, I'm sorry. So, sir, has anybody offered you anything other than what I just stated in the record?
No, sir.
Are you taking this on your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Lane, let me draw your attention to June 24th, 2020 at around 9:48 p.m. in the area of Owen and Oakland, my old stomping grounds. You reckless and running up my old neighborhood. Did you have an occasion to be pulled over by a Detroit police officer on that day?
I don't remember, but I probably was, yes.
Well, you got to remember, sir, this is the reckless driving we're talking about.
Okay,
Owens,
yes.
Owens and Oakland. Sir, on that day, what were you doing that caused you to get this reckless driving ticket?
Okay, so far as like I told Mr. Buffett,
give it to me straight what you're doing.
I'm a student athlete, so I was going to get some workout at the field, and I had my little brother with me. We go on to the gas station, get something to drink, and it was a guy up there. He basically had something going on with him. He angry. We left. He started following us, and I, got a little nervous and was trying to protect my little brother or whatever. And I started driving fast, and the police was at the light, and they hit their lights. He turned, and they pulled me up.
All right, you said nothing about driving. This has something to do with driving. Now, what you did is you tried to explain why you were apparently driving in a reckless manner, but I need to know what type of driving you were doing that caused the police to pull you over.
I was just speeding.
And how fast were you going, sir?
I was going 65 or 69 or whatever in the 55, 50.
You're not in the 55 if you're on Owen or Oakland. You're in a 35 on Oakland, and probably or even a 30 or a 30 on Owen for sure. What you would say you were going at least double the speed limit?
Yes. Yes.
Did you run the stop sign?
Did you run any stop signs, sir?
No, I didn't run any stop signs.
Stop lights?
Did you run any stoplights?
No, it was green turning yellow.
Will you change lanes for the whole city?
Did you change the without signal?
No, sir.
That's not enough, Your Honor.
All right, we're gonna need to get the officer in here then. Because just speeding is not enough for a reckless driving ticket. You have to be doing more than just speeding. I don't know, maybe double the speed limit may cause you to wreck.
Yes, I apologize.
And he offers the explanation that he was being chased. He doesn't want to say that he was racing that guy. And what kind of car were you driving? A Ford? What kind of car did you have?
I had a 2012 Ford Fusion.
It says 2010 Ford Fusion. So, Mr. Bachman, we're in a situation where we're trying to get a factual basis to the reckless driving. Mr. Lane has provided us the information, but I don't think my city attorney is satisfied that it meets the requirement necessary for reckless driving. I will say that he's admitted to doing in the area of 55 or 65 miles per hour. And I don't know for sure, but I think at least on Oakland, at the very most, the speed limit is 35. And I would say at the most, the speed limit is 30 on Owen, but I can't say that for sure. I don't know if reckless driving requires you to have more than just speeding, or is going double the speed limit enough? And
may I do the witness? Just a couple follow-ups, Your Honor. So, Mr. Lane, on that date and time in the city of Detroit that we're speaking of today, you've admitted to speeding, but isn't it true also, sir, that you disregarded some traffic control devices during your drive that night? Speak up, sir.
He said no. He said he didn't run a stop sign. He said he didn't run a red light.
It wasn't a red light. It was a yellow light. Yes. Yes, I was speeding. So.
Now that's a different story, because it doesn't have to be red. It can be red or amber.
Understood, Your Honor. May I also ask this? The area where you were carrying on these high speeds, this is a residential area, correct?
Yes, sir.
So at any time, somebody's child could have come into the street and you would have encountered that child going at that high rate of speed, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so your behavior that day was in complete disregard for the possible circumstances, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you did not regard the plausible and possible circumstances of your actions when you were speeding in that manner in that neighborhood. Is that correct?
Yes.
I'm satisfied with the factual basis, and I would place that at Mr. Goss's feet and ask him if he was satisfied.
Okay, let me ask you, were you on Owen or were you on Oakland when you were doing this speeding, sir?
I don't remember. It was a main street, though. I don't remember where exactly.
It says Owen Street / Oakland going south. So Oakland runs north and south. Owen runs east and west. So, I don't know where they are going first. All right, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. So I'm going to find you guilty of the amended count of Mr. Goss. What's the amended count? Blocks. No operator's license on person. I'm told that's a 2-point offense. I'm going to fine you $240 with the stipulation of probable cause. Will dismiss the other matter.
So stipulated. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Lane, I'm going to also waive the warrant fees. You're going to be responsible to pay the reinstatement fees. How much time do you need to pay, sir?
What's today's date? Can I get until next week? Not next week, but next month.
Okay. Let's give you 30 days. September 3rd, 2021. If you need some more time, sir, you need to zoom back in. I'm worried about the $240. The The other $90 in reinstatement fees is gonna be done on your own, volition, so, but you're gonna have to pay that in order to get a, clearance here at 36th District Court. So if you need more time, zoom back in, sir, okay?
Yes, sir.
Other than that, you and your younger brother be safe.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I just wanted to let the court know, and let Mr. Lane know that, this generous offer will not happen again, so he needs to make sure that he drives more carefully. And if he's feel that he's in danger, he needs to call the police, not just run, double the speed limit and going through lights. So this is a one-time deal with this generous offer.
Well, if he's in danger,
He called the police.
yeah, but he's gotta get away, doesn't he?
Not at that rate of speed, because the police didn't believe he was in danger. They wouldn't want him to take it.
Well, we're assuming all that.
And that's why I'm saying, Your Honor, if he would have called the police, called 911 while he was in the vehicle at the time, it would have helped his case a little bit better.
You hear that, Mr. Lane?
Yes, sir.
Call 911 if you feel that you're in danger like that. That'll definitely help in the future, but slow down.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. If there's nothing further, you have a very good day, sir.
Y'all have a more blessing.
All right, thank you. Thank you much.
Thank you.
I just gotta say, you gotta go. Let me get my speech and let me go. Mr. Baldwin, why the judge always hate me?
I'm a lawyer too, we can't make assumptions on what they're doing out there.
That's why silence is golden.
Just like I can't assume that I'm already saying, I don't know if the story is correct. Mr. Owen, are you still driving, sir?
You're on mute, sir.
No, I'm not driving. I'm just sitting in my car because my headphones died and my phone, I can't really hear y'all that well. So I was driving, but I stopped when I found some shade. I'm not driving no more.
All right. Let's read the case of Mr. Marcus Owens. I gave you an opportunity to speak with the counsel in the breakout room. The offer was plea to a 3-month delay, $240 fine, and I will dismiss based immediately upon payment. You have something that you want to represent on behalf of your client, counselor?
Yes, Your Honor. After speaking with the defendant and him relating to me exactly what happened to him that afternoon, he did end up making a payment by way of his cell phone on that date and time. I've asked him to forward that to Your Honor's email address. He does have a proof of that payment, and we would ask if the court finds that compelling that Mr. Goss consider dismissing the instant case without prejudice, where the defendant did pay using his cell phone and has proof of the same, and sent that to the court's attention. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I don't have anything here.
Sir, did you send that?
Yeah, I did, and I can send it again. If you give me your email address, I can send it again.
Yeah, there was a question on whether it's
I can send it right now while I'm on the phone with y'all.
I'm gonna send it to you in the chat, sir. The email address.
Okay.
It's SEAN dot PERKINS at 36 TH District Court.org. So I sent it in the chat so you can have an accurate.
Okay, I'm about to send it off right now. Yeah. And that PER.
I have a, Mr. Lyons has a furnishing.
Okay, I just sent it off.
And you sent that to
Yes, to Sean dot,
Perkins.
yep, at 36district.org.
District Court.
Yeah, district court, I'm sorry.
36districtcourt.org.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm yet to receive that. I think we're gonna need the state prosecutor on the line for Mr. Lance. Can we get Ms. Wolf on the line? Please. So we'll wait on that. SEAN period PERKINS at 36districtcourt.org.
Yeah, 36THDISTRICTCORT.org.
No, COURT.
Yeah, COURT. My apologies. Yep.
.org.
Yes, sir.
You got the U in there?
Yes, sir. I just sent it again.
All right. All right. When I
And
get
then this
that,
time I made a carbon copy to myself to make sure it's going through. So let me see if I got a copy myself. Yeah, I got my copy. So you sure you didn't get one yet?
no. I would cut and paste that email address that I sent in the chat and do it like that, but I'll let you know when I get it. Oh, let's see. I got it. Oh, it's
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's the Q line receipt. Thank you for choosing Q Line Detroit. Below is a receipt of your purchase details, transaction number, date. Transaction date, January 30th, 2020 at 8:59 p.m. Fare, 4-hour pass. You paid $2. Convenience fee of 15 cents, a total of $2.15.
What time was the ticket?
The time of the ticket was 8:50, around 8:50 p.m. So he paid, according to them, 9 minutes after, but I don't know if the time is exactly right, but I would say that the time that he paid the fare was pretty much. All right, there's a motion on the floor to dismiss Mr. Owens. I'm going to grant that motion. You provided documentation that you paid the fare, and also I'll waive the warrant fee that was outstanding. If there's nothing further, sir, you're free to leave. Have a great day.
All glory go to God. Thank God. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good one now. Be safe. Okay, this is the city of Detroit versus, this is the state of Michigan versus David Lance.
Yes.
Case numbers SP 8731961 and 14469121, which is in warrant status. Both of them are state matters. Appearance for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexandra Wolf on behalf of the people, P84516.
Harry Bachman, P55052 for the defendant.
Okay, very well. And the reason why I called you again, Ms. Wolf, was this one. The first case, excuse me, well, the second case is just a no insurance misdemeanor. That's a 2014 case. The first case is furnishing an alcohol to a minor.
Yes.
2017 case, furnishing alcohol and beverage to a minor. There's no offer in this file. What does the state normally offer in these cases, if anything?
I don't believe the state would offer anything in this sort of case. I've never come across it before.
Your Honor, my experience tells me that these are plea under advisement eligible. That the defendant would enter a plea, pay a fine, and ostensibly come back at some point in the future, as long as they hadn't had a recurrence of these type of cases, that the case would be dismissed. I'm not in a position to tell the prosecutor obviously what their policy is, but in my experience, that has been made available to defendants in this type of situation.
Okay. Madam Wolf, is that something that you would be entertaining as a resolution for this matter? Is a 2017 case?
Yes, I believe so. A 3-month delayed sentence would probably be appropriate in this case, because we have done such similar offers in marijuana cases. So, I mean, I don't see why we couldn't do it here.
All right, and then the other matter of the misdemeanor being dismissed, is that?
Yes, that would be fine with the state.
Okay, Mr. Lance, did you hear that offer?
Yes.
It's, now, I understand you have a right to a trial in both of these matters. If you want, you have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, we can give you a trial date. But if you want to resolve this case today, I'll allow you to plead straight up to the charge of furnishing alcoholic beverage to a person under 21. I'll take that under a 3-month delayed sentence, and I'll fine you $240. If you don't get in any trouble, or the trouble that constitutes furnishing alcohol or any alcohol offense within the 3 months, then I'll dismiss the matter.
Sounds good.
You want to take that deal?
Yes.
All right, sir. I need to. Are you calling in, sir?
Yes.
You don't have a video option?
Not on this one, no.
Okay, sir. Can you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down, sir. See, you understand you have a right to a trial in these matters, sir?
Yes.
You understand by taking this offer, you're going to give that trial right up?
Yes.
And has anybody offered you anything other than what was just stated in the record?
No.
Okay, sir. Let me draw your attention to May 19, 2017 at around 7:48 p.m. in the area of Woodward and Witherall Street. Did you have an occasion to come in contact with a Detroit police on that day?
Yes.
Were you working as a bartender on that day?
Yes.
And on that day, did someone purchase 2 shots of Hennessy for $8?
Yes.
And you sold it to them, is that correct?
Correct.
And you didn't require that individual to furnish identification at all, is that correct?
Yes.
And now you know that individual was a decoy police officer under the age of 21 and wasn't legally obligated, wasn't legally entitled to buy that liquor?
Do I know that now? Yes.
Okay, Mr. Bachman, does that satisfy you? I mean, I'd say Mrs. Wolf, does that satisfy you?
Yes, it does, Judge.
Mr. Bachman? Okay, very well. Based on that, I'm gonna sentence you to furnishing an alcoholic beverage to a person under 21 under a 3-month delayed sentence. I will, based with the stipulation of probable cause, dismiss the other matter, no insurance.
So stipulated, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm gonna fine you $240, sir. What I'll do is I'm gonna give you a 3-month delay, so obviously I'm gonna give you until November 2nd to pay that ticket 2021. You get that ticket paid, you don't get in any trouble, meaning furnishing any alcoholic beverages to a minor or any alcohol offense, period, then this case will be dismissed, okay, sir? So why don't we have you back on a review date? But why don't we set it for a review date on November 2nd, 2021? If, sir, on that date you have the ticket paid, you do not have to zoom in. I will waive the warrant fees in the case. And sir, you're gonna be responsible for a $45 reinstatement fee for the no insurance misdemeanor. So I'll waive the warrant. And there's a $45 reinstatement fee for furnishing alcoholic to a minor, but I think that reinstatement fee is part of the new amendments that they've made to the statutes. But it doesn't go into effect till October 1st. I don't know how that would affect him moving forward to after will automatically administrate back. But I don't know if you want to wait that long, sir, to get a driver's license. That one fee may go away October 1st of $45. But be that as it may, all I'm concerned about is the $240. You pay that, you don't get in any trouble. We'll dismiss the case. You'll just have two $45 reinstatement fees hanging in the balance. If you want to go get your license, you must clear those up. Anything further, sir?
No, thank you.
All right, very well. If there's nothing further, you have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, Ms. Wolf.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
You as well. Let's call the city of Detroit versus Alexis Nicole Gray, case number case number SP 1096761. Mrs. Gray, your charge, this is an opportunity, she's a walk-in. You're charged with one count of driving while license never acquired. You want to take a leap and say that you still don't have your driver's license. Is that correct?
No, sir.
Okay. There's no offer here in the file because you're a walk-in, so I'm going to point to this is Mr. Lane's driving record. Put that in this file, please. I'm going to point to my city attorney to see what he wants to do. What's your driving record look like, ma'am?
I think I have a ticket or two, but that's all.
But that's all. And you're not even supposed to be driving, right?
Right.
Are you working here?
Not at the moment. It's kind of hard to find a babysitter for my kids.
How many kids do you have, ma'am?
I have 2 children.
And how old are they? I hear one is a little baby.
Yeah, she just turned 1, and my son is 2. That's a baby.
Well, I'm waiting on the city attorney. I'm looking at him, and I know Mr. Baughman is looking as well. He seems like he's trying to ignore me on what he wants to do with this.
Well, Your Honor, we would ask if the defendant could enter a plea here to improper plates or anything really that wouldn't abstract, allow her to pay a fine, and then she could still move forward with her driver's license. I was going to say restoration, but getting her first driver's license. Ma'am, I might ask you this. Do you have tickets elsewhere other than Detroit?
Yes, I believe I have one in Warren.
We're about to find all of that out right now. This is great. You need a paperwork?
Okay, thanks.
We're gonna do this the easy way. We're not gonna rely on your memory, because sometimes memories get faded a little bit. We're gonna rely on the Secretary of State to tell us exactly what you've been out there doing when you didn't have a driver's license.
Okay.
Why didn't you go get a license?
I don't know. I've been trying to go.
She's 21 years old. Didn't they have driver's training in high school?
Yes, I believe so. I'm not sure. I didn't complete my high school all the way.
And why is that, ma'am?
I ended up moving, so the high school I was going to, I stopped attending to it, so I tried to do online school, but that wouldn't work out for me.
Do you ever plan on completing that?
Yes.
Violation, no proof of insurance. Drove on license suspended. Crash, injured one. And no proof of insurance. Drove while license suspended. That's it. I don't even see this on here.
Then the part of it, because adjudicated.
Well, it's got a warrant fee and a reinstatement fees. Plead not guilty. Okay, that was on the 15th. All right, so what's the deal? How are we gonna resolve this?
Sanjay Goss, on behalf of the city of Detroit, Your Honor. My concern is that she hasn't taken any steps to get a driver's license. And I don't know how we can handle that without, once we get rid of this case, will we see her back in? So the same, her history is just driving, getting pulled over and getting the same tickets over again.
She's got some more serious matters in Mrs. Stanford Jones's court. Very serious matters. So, she's got some very, very serious matters going on in another courtroom, and there is a scheduled for probable cause conference on September 9th, 2021. So, Mr. Goss, I don't know what you want to do.
I definitely tried to assist as much as I can. People are willing to try to get their license. However, Your Honor, I don't know if that's possible in this case.
Well, and Mr. Bachman, I'll let you respond, but I'll just say this, that Mrs. Gray getting her license at this point is really a, she's got some very serious matters going on that are in proceedings right now that she's on bond for. I think at this point, trying to get a license right now, I wish that Mrs. Gray would get the license. I think that she had to take her. Why am I getting that? I'm gonna mute you, Ms. Gray. And unmute yourself when I ask you to. So, I just don't want to put our business out there. I mean, it is public record, but what you want to speak, Mr. Bach?
Sure. I would say that probably the most compelling things that Ms. Gray have done, number one, are appear here in court in an effort to resolve these matters, these instant cases. Number two, she's been quite honest with us with regard to not having ever acquired a license and anything else not recalcitrant and willing to cooperate here and probably make admissions against her interest. The last thing I would find compelling with regard to Ms. Gray is the fact that she is a mother of 2 young children. I myself would be compelled, that would compel me to do everything I could to help her, because at some point she's going to need to drive her children to medical appointments, doctor's appointments, and God forbid, in an emergency that she need to get behind the wheel. So I would, again, I can't set the policies for a corporation counsel, but if the defendant could plead here to a combination of improper plates or whatever that we could devise here without points, we can resolve these matters, close them, and allow the defendant to move forward with her more pressing felony matters. That's all. Thank you.
Response.
I didn't say anything you said, Attorney Bachman. However, she has the responsibility of 2 young children that she never get that chance, opportunity beforehand to get a driver's license or even get a permit to drive. And that's my concern, that, giving people, I don't mind giving people a hand when they trying to do something for themselves. She knew she had 2 children and at no time still attempted to get a driver's license. And that's the biggest concern I have, that I give I help out too much, and then something happens and that she doesn't get a driver's license and she ends up causing some type of serious accident that she shouldn't be on the road in the first place. So that's where my concern is, that I don't believe Ms. Gray is taking this serious enough to even attempt to try to get a driver's license in the first place,
Judge, would it please the court to set a review date sometime in the future, say 6 or 9 months from today's date, and require as a condition that the defendant either return with a valid driver's license or return with whatever documentation shows that she's unable to get a driver's license, such as a rejection letter from Secretary of State?
Well, that's assuming that the defendant will not be incarcerated in 9 months. Like I say, she's going back to court on September 9th. That's what at least says here. And she's got a host of very serious felony charges.
Was that the one we had earlier on that has a trial date? Or is it some other Joseph?
Yeah, I don't mind adjourning this to September 8th, the day before, and if she makes some type of attempt in that time period to get some type of verification of trying to get some type of license, I'd be more in tune to giving some type of offer.
Well, the problem with it is that I don't know if she's gonna be able to even approach them and get a license.
If she gets something saying, if she even approach and get a denial letter, that shows me that she's taking some effort to do it.
All right, you understand that, Mrs. Gray? Mrs. Gray, unmute yourself, please.
Yes.
Do you understand what's being required of you?
It's breaking up. Yes, can you hear me, sir?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, the call's kind of breaking up. I'm sorry.
You understand that the city some steps to get a driver's license?
Yes, sir.
Can you do that? Can you do that?
Yes.
All right. How long will it take you to
I'm sorry, the call was breaking up again.
How long will it take you to take those steps?
I will go tomorrow morning to the Secretary of State to try to get my license.
All right. Let's give it 30 days. 30 days. September 3rd, 2020.
It's great. Can you
Yes, can you repeat that? It's kind of breaking up, so I kind of can't hear the words you guys are saying.
Yeah, I don't know why your device.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I apologize. There's repeating reverb that the record is picking up, and I think it may have been because Miss Gray's device was the reason. So if we can continue and see if it's still there.
Yeah, it's not. I do hear that reverb, but what I did was I just I muted Mrs. Gray again, and I just want to say, Mrs. Gray, if you can hear me, I believe you can hear me. We're going to push this matter off until September 3rd, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. Zoom back in on that date and make sure you provide us some kind of evidence that you are attempting to get a license. Even if you get denied in that effort. And they'll at least tell you everything that you need to clear up and everything that you need to do. Bring that back to us. If you get that done tomorrow, then you can Zoom back in on Friday or next Monday. But at the very latest, Zoom back in on September 3rd at 8:30 a.m. All right? You got to unmute yourself now.
Yes, sir.
All right, very well. If there's nothing further, you have a very good day. Take care of those kids. All right, Ms. Gray.
You too. Thank you.
Have a good day. Have a good day. Mr. Lee. Is Mr. Lee still there? Press *6 to unmute yourself, Mr. Lee. *6. All right, I'm gonna put him out. If he calls back in, and we'll hear it then. I won't ever say that we have a small docket again.
What they call it, jinx.
You did that, Your Honor, huh?
I usually do. But still, it was not even a whole page, and not everybody on this page showed up with just the extra people that signed in. It shouldn't have been that bad, but yeah, that's what we do.
This is the day for it, though. since we don't have afternoon doctors, so this is why. Yep.
Is that Mr. Joseph Lee again? I don't hear you, sir. Mr. Lee? Who's on that phone, 680-4993?
Ronald Green.
What?
Ronald Green.
He was here earlier, huh? Was he here
Yes, I
earlier?
was, but I got disconnected.
This is the city of Detroit versus Ronald Green, case number. Is that Ronaldo Green?
Yes, sir.
What's your date of birth, sir?
January 23rd, 1962.
So many Ronald Greens. January 23rd, 1962.
Yes, sir. You want this case number that's on this ticket?
No, I have it, sir.
Huh?
I have it. This is the city of Detroit versus Ronald Green, case number U47194018. I am just looking. Can we get a printout of Mr. Green with his birthday? Because I have other Mr. Green here as well. See what he's got going on. What else he's got going on? I got consuming alcohol in public.
Yes.
This is Mr. Green that was in the were you in the
That was a park at the bus terminal.
Oh, you weren't in the treatment center, were you?
In a treatment center before?
No, you didn't zoom in from a treatment center. Oh, that's not the same. That's the only one, Scott? You ticket, but I also have some old 13 tickets. Can we run by his birthday, that one sheet that has all of those matters? And he's got the birthday, 123.62. 123.62, correct?
Okay, I did it by his date of birth and also his driver's license.
I see what's wrong with mine. All right. And that's it, right? What about these 13 matters are closed? Okay. This is the offer here today, Mr. Green, is to plead to the disorderly conduct. Straight up, I'll fine you $240. There's a 3-month delay. I'll dismiss it upon the payment of $240. So that becomes a very expensive drink in the park that day. Steel Reserve just cost you $240. Or you have a right to take it to trial, sir. This is a 2018 matter. I don't know if you want to take it to trial or not.
No, I don't want to take that to trial, but I never even had a chance to even drink the beer.
I know. Well, that's why you can take it to trial.
I don't want to try to fight it. I don't want to try to fight it, but I just need this to be resolved. That's all.
You really have nothing to lose. You only got this one case.
Yes. Okay, I already put $200 down to get that warrant off my off of me. So does that $200 go towards anything, or I do have to pay?
I'm going to talk to him, Mr. Baughman, quickly.
Yeah, let me take a few moments, Mr.
Get you in a breakout room, sir.
Lee. Come talk to me real quick.
He's in there. Who's that? Don't make a call.
Okay, Your Honor, the defendant will make a fact now to the recommendation. He is on the phone, so if you could bring him out.
He doesn't want a trial date to see if he can.
Yeah, he wants to settle it here today. I indicated he had a $200 bond and that it would be $40 more. That's what he'd like to do, Your Honor.
Very well.
Sure.
But he wants to give an excuse to he didn't get a chance to drink his beer.
Right. We spoke about that. He is aware that that's not going to be a proper excuse or defense here. And he's going to make a factual basis to having open alcohol in public. Mr. Lee.
No, I'm Ronald Green.
Mr. Green.
Forgive me.
Mr. Green. So you got a chance to speak with the lawyer. I was giving you an opportunity to see if the officer would show up if you wanted to go to trial. If he doesn't show up, the case will be dismissed. You get your money back. But if you wanted,
really?
yeah.
Oh, okay, then I'll show up for trial.
Okay.
Yes, I'll show up.
Trial
Just
date,
tell me what time.
October 4th, Mr. Green, 2021.
2021.
At 9 a.m. October 4th.
October the 1st?
October the 4th.
The 4th. 2021. Okay, I got that down.
At 9 a.m.
At 9 a.m. Heck yeah, I need my money back.
Just don't be bringing that steel reserve at the bus stop anymore.
I won't.
I'll see you back at October 4th, 9 a.m.
But what courtroom do I go to?
You'll call in like you're doing now.
Oh, I gotta call in again.
Yep, 9 a.m. October 4th.
October the 4th, 2021. I'll be there.
All right, we're gonna be here too. Waiting on you.
Thank you so much.
All right, have a good day, sir.
You too, sir.
All right, that's it. I'm closing it up.